So, with the van loaded, it was time to link up with the rest of the lads and start our week's expedition in France.
Oh shit. What you saying, boys?
So we eventually met up with Matt and Tom in a lay-by, and now we were just waiting for Dan and Kurt.
Once they arrived, we all made our way to the ferry port, which was only a stone's throw away.
And after looking at the weather reports, the high winds, we were going to make for a rough crossing.
The bad weather meant we'd experience about an hour's delay, but before you knew it, we was loaded on, and boy were we in for a rough ride.
If there's one thing I don't like, it's sailing. And the lads, yep, they couldn't wait to remind me.
The rest of us headed off for the restaurant to fill up on a big breakfast, ready for the long stint on the other side.
At last, dry land, and we were soon on our way to Paris. Oops, forgot to mention Sandra, our mascot. We borrowed her from Nigel's house before we left. A few hours south of Paris, we eventually hit the town of Meillant.
Johnny T.
After a short drive through the forest, we pulled up to the magnificent Lake Meillant.
Wow. What we saying, boys? What we saying, boys?
Johnny T.
What a beautiful lake.
After some much needed sleep, some more than others, we got down to some serious fishing.
Nobby.
We were soon into full flow, and it became apparent that these fish fought hard in and out of the water. It's hard work. Well, this one's just interrupted my morning coffee. Last night was pretty quiet. I had 2 runs. Unfortunately lost both of them. But I've been lucky enough to catch this one this morning. Lovely mirror. Some beautiful scale patterns on his tail there. Lovely job. Slip this one back and the sun's coming up today, so I think we'll be in for a few more fish. Scopex squid damage.
Oh boy. Someone's had a very productive few hours. Woo. 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 Bonjour. Someone's been busy. Off to a fly today. I think we've had now Monday fish number 22. This is number 8 of, well, so this afternoon, the last 4 hours. Had a double take carnage. As you can understand, absolute madness. Loving life is an understatement. Wow.
We got it.
Yeah, we got it, yeah.
Fucking thing.
Jay, when you see this footage, do something with that, will ya? Edit it into the video somewhere where he's holding it like a melon. Imagine if you started going like that, I was like, righty!
This is the 3rd or 4th fish of the morning. Off to a flyer start.
It was Nigel's first trip in France, but it didn't take him long to get amongst the chunks.
A new French PB, £44. Lovely times.
Here's one, just a scrape of 30. Done a couple of nights in a swim further up the lake. Didn't feel too comfortable, so I got on the move, and I've got a few more in the sling. So let's get this back, see what else we've got. Good times. Here's another mid 30. As I say, I got a few more of these. Took to the Scopex squid. I'm going to slip this back and show you a few more. Buzzing. Get the rods out, try and nick me another one.
Jason had a mega short range spot rocking, but he couldn't ignore more fish showing at about 100 yards. He decided to mark the spot and make use of the boat, spreading a generous amount of bait in the vicinity. He could then simply cast a single hook bait to the area, knowing he'd be fishing over plenty of free offerings.
Look at that. What a beast. Absolutely made up with that. Biggest fish of the trip so far. I've had a couple of 40s now. Just hoping that 50's not far away. Amazing. What a creature. Fish number 30. And it's a unit. Oh. Well, there she is, fish number 30. I'm absolutely made up. 45 pound of Meillant mirror carp. And she's angry. She's not happy. I'm over the moon. 45 pounds. What a unit. Buzzing.
When you get the platform goes on forever, and we put loads of shit at the end of it, so you had to jump off the side. What are you doing?
What a melt. Look at the knees on that for starters. Damn. What have you done to your ankle, son?
She's a goner, mate. She's a goner. She's been through the wars.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Always when you're about to have something to eat. Towards me now.
Silky smooth, straight into them. He's done that once or twice this session. What a lovely way to spend the evening. It's just gone overcast. The ripple's gone off the lake. It's gone flat calm. We was just saying actually about how it doesn't fish the best when it's flat calm. And
ironic, isn't it? It's been quiet all day.
Yeah, just said shut your mouths basically, didn't it? And absolutely ripped off. But yeah, it's been a quiet day today, Jay. Do you want to tell us a bit about what's been going on today actually, Jay?
Basically got a birdie this morning. Just get him away from that line. Got a birdie this morning to a run. Had another two quickly after that, so we had 3 fish this morning before 8 o'clock, and it's literally been dead all day, but it's been really hot. I think you just put them off the feed, because previous days is when we've been catching them all through the day. One just showed up there then. We've not really been having takes when it's flat calm. Flat calm, a few fish have started the show and we've had a take. Just as I'm cooking my curry. Which is always the way.
Social aplenty.
Yep.
Lovely times, yeah.
The pleasure, Matt. My net is over yonder.
Oh, look at that. I'll help him out. HMS Risty. Oh, you have to excuse me. Full of weed.
That net have seen some action this week. It's ripped.
Bit of weed in there,
battered, it's torn. It's landed 33 fish if this one goes in.
Which I'm sure it will.
Today my good friend Matt Rhodes have joined me for the last 48 hours.
I certainly have. Get in on the action. I've had 10 fish so far. The bite's slowed down for me in the past 48 hours. So I've joined Jay here and yeah, let's get in on some of this action. That's a good fish there, just about to go in the net.
See that little freeze action there? Just
Was that for the camera?
Milking it.
We'll edit that in as a still.
That's called short arm syndrome. This time, Matt.
This time?
Keep your eyes on him.
Shall I start recording then?
Yeah.
No, he ain't ready. He's seen you. He's like, it's the assassin.
I think he's seen you. Oh, fair play. These fish in Meillant don't have to put up a fight, do they?
They do, mate, don't they?
Every fish I've had. And even when you get them on the bank, they're still not done.
Absolute steam trains. And yeah, like you say, I've had a fish on the other day, probably 25-30 minutes.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm telling you now, I thought it was a catfish, and then believe it or not, it was a carp. And like you say, put it on the mat and it's flapping about like mad. You know what I mean?
I think the worst thing you can do on here is,
what are we saying?
as soon as he touches the
He's
cork.
got skills. Cut a long story short, his arms are too short.
My arms are too short, my legs are too short.
He's 4'2".
He's 4'2". That boy Massey.
He's 4'2". He hits on the left. He hits on the right. He makes Tyson look shite.
Oh, really?
No.
Really? After all that?
No.
Wounded. Wounded. I didn't deserve that.
Sing that song again, Nige.
Just lost the chicken.
Unlucky, Jay. Back to the drawing board, mate. Let's go again.
I'm going to have my tea.
Wow, would you believe it? It's been like 6 minutes since Jay's just lost that one. And now what's going on here, Jay?
My curry still isn't cooked.
The curry's still on the go. We're all in the same situ.
Do you know what?
And the other rod's gone.
This is that new spot I was talking about earlier. I actually lost one on it earlier. I've just lost one now. And I don't believe in any of that fake shit. Don't believe in any of that shit. It just happens if it's going to happen. So, let's see what happens with this one, eh? I've got enough weed on that net. There he goes. There we go. Cut me clean off. Cut me clean off. I know what that's then. It's a ledge. It's the ledge that runs right across by here. The fish is kited from the right hand side. You're laughing, aren't you?
What is It's a ledge, it's a ledge.
I don't believe in all that faith.
I don't believe in all that faith. Oh, God.
2 in 10 minutes?
How to grow a ledge in your lake, eh? How to grow a ledge.
Bothered. Listen.
Listen.
And I've been putting these rods out. If that one goes off, somebody else
Jade.
can have it. I'm finishing my curry, bro.
Let's just say, let's have a little talk about the curry, Jay. Come over here a sec, mate. Because you just lost that fish. You went over to do your curry, and then what? So what happened? You was making your curry, and then what happened then? Did nothing happen with your pan?
They come in threes. So the pan's fallen over. I've dropped half a curry on the deck. Nigel started scooping it back in with bits of all sorts on it. I've had to ditch it. So I've lost a fish, lost half my curry, and I've just lost another fish.
An absolute.
So what's going on there, Matt?
Move round to Jay's swim, have a bit of a social. Been waiting for one to rip off. And here it is. Big carp on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, big carp.
Well, I lost my last 2 fish. Whilst I was trying to eat my food, or trying to cook it rather, lost half my food. And I've managed to get it. Yeah, why? And I've been rudely interrupted by Matt playing a cat. And I think he's going to be some time, so we'll cut away from this and hopefully cut back to Matt landing the fish.
Yeah, so the rod ripped off, and it was evident straight away that there was a catfish on the end of the rod. It's just beasted us up. It was like when we had the take, and it's near pitch black now, so yeah, I ain't got a clue on the weight. I'm not going to mess about with it. Keeping it in the water, keeping it on the mat, treating it as best we can. We'll have a quick snap with it and we'll get it back. Size, I don't know, have a look and make your own judgment. You've got to get a bit more here on this fin. Yeah. Oh, it's all over there, isn't it? Yeah. And then you stretch your arm out down that one. Right, yeah. Ready? And there it is. Can you see that well enough, Jay?
Spot on, mate. So we've got Matt into a fish this morning. What's been happening, Matt?
Well, moved over here yesterday, as I've already said, and I wouldn't say it's going off, mate, but we've had a few bites, haven't we?
We sure have.
We've got a couple in the slings that we're about to get out in a minute and photograph. Some decent sizes as well. So hopefully there's a 40 in the bag. I'm hoping.
Fingers crossed, mate.
I've said that before though, haven't I, Jay?
Yeah, you have actually, yeah. Right, let's get this one in.
Well, would you look at this? Just before first light this morning, rod absolutely bolted off out into the middle of the lake. It took me all over the place, waders on, net in hand, and before you know it, this creature slipped in the net.
What are you saying then? Huh? What are you saying, kid? What's been going on here then? Carnage in it, last few hours. Having it absolutely bang off. What, we had 16 fish. All quick, fast bites.
What you been having them on, lads?
Over the moon.
What you been?
Squirtex squid. Doing the damage as usual. Squiddy! Squiddy! Couple of hook baits glugged up. Keep nicking me the bites. Just get them back out, hopefully get a few more. Lovely times, boys. Yes,
That's what we're saying, aren't we? That's what we're saying.
Yes. Lovely.
Ah.
£36. Another beautiful carp from Meillant. There we go, fish number 11. 27, 5 ounces.
Fancies a little bit of lynx, do you, lad? Or is it the Scope X squid you're after? Look at him. Not a care in the world. Okay, so we just about come to the end of our week here at Meillant. We've had a fantastic week. I've bagged over 40 fish. It's been absolutely hectic. Still got fish slime all over me. I haven't long put a fish back. I'm just going to quickly show you what rigs I've been using this week. So there's two types of rig I've been using. For my long range fishing, I've been using the Nash Fluorolink. £25, a little bit of stiffness to it and also a little bit of flexibility to it. For the anti-tangle properties, obviously. Yeah, so attached to that is a size 4 Fang X with a hook swivel and a tungsten hook bead, and that just swivels around very nicely, stops any type of tangles on the cast. Absolutely brilliant rig for long range fishing. On the other hand, my short range fishing, anything up to 50-60 yards, I've been using the Skin Link in £25. Again, a size 4 Fang X with a blowback style ring, probably just 7 or 8 inches long, and attached into that is 3 boilies in a mesh with a little pop-up on the top, 12mm cut in half for sight. And what I do then is attach the hook to the bag to stop that tangling, cast that out, no tangles, and that's me bagging me plenty of fish as well. And that's it. Well, I think I've literally found a sweet spot in my swim. I just can't put a rod wrong. Each time the rod goes out, the one next to it goes off, and vice versa. They come in thick and fast now. I'm literally going to show you this one quick, get it back, because I've got a feeling the other rod's going to go off. Lovely times. Well, it's still coming thick and fast. Seem to be every hour now. Keep that bait trickling in.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of the session, so I thought I'd give you a quick run through of the methods and tactics that I've been using down here to catch the fish that we've been catching. Coming straight from my main line, we've got the tungsten tubing, coming down to a standard lead clip setup, anti-tangle sleeve, and then we've got £25 Skin Link going down to a size 4 Fang Twister. And that's an imitation pretty much of what Jason's shown you already, and that's 3 boilies in a bag. I've adapted to that approach since moving over next to Jason. Jason was catching a lot of fish like this, so I'd be foolish not to copy the sort of tactics that Jason was using. Prior to that, my fish was coming off a pop-up rig, so they're both working well. So one's my bottom bait rig and one's my pop-up rig, and that's just a standard multi multi-rig with a silicone kicker on there. There's plenty of information of how to fish this. It's actually Julian Cundiff's multi-rig, so if you wanted to know exactly how I'm fishing, then search Julian's video on YouTube and that will give you full detail of how to make that rig. That's been just as good for me as that one there. I don't think there's any particular methods or tactics that you need to use down here. If you fish with confidence, there's fish out there to be caught for everybody. What we got here, Mucker?
A couple of bangers from this morning, mate. What do you reckon?
Absolutely buzzing, man. We've been having it off this morning, haven't we?
Yeah, after losing a few last night, we bagged a couple this morning, so it's all turned out well. Happy.
On the last day, we decided to reel in, load the vans and head down to the local town for some food, a few beers and to reflect on what was a banging week's fishing, with loads of fish caught and plenty of PBs broken along the way.
Everybody.
Wipe its bum now, you
Mind
dickhead.
you.
Used for stalking the fish here. Craft jar.
Sometimes grass carp out here in France. In beautiful times. Right then. No, you don't.
Mate, that's so awesome.